Greetings and welcome to this special MelVee Testimonies. We're really focusing on marriage and the importance of an institution. Perhaps, like I've always said, the only institution God put up when He created this universe in its perfection. And therefore, there's going to be so much wisdom God has, and we need to dig it out. And we're so pleased to have one of our sisters who has actually gone in and taken time to write something about marriage and to help young people to build a foundation, things that you need to do before you get married. Get the foundation right and build well. Welcome and greetings, my good.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
And I must start by saying congratulations on this masterpiece. I've gone through it, and I think every young person out there should read it. Even after 19 years of marriage, I think this is quite a masterpiece.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the writing of the book.
My children, I have 4 girl children.
Yes.
And I realize we live in times where aunties, when we were growing up,
Yes.
we had aunties who would sit us down and tell us things. Although I never had that privilege.
Yes.
I don't remember sitting down with an aunt.
Yes.
And I only had pressure at 22 to get married because some of my friends had gotten married earlier. And at 22, it was assumed that I was old enough to get married. And somehow, I don't know, we just had pressure to get married.
Yes.
But because of my girl children, I thought, who is going to tell them things that I stumbled upon? The things that I struggled with in marriage, and I didn't want my children to struggle. Yes, and I was also, after I lost my husband, I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
And I thought, let me leave something that will continue speaking to them even when I'm no longer there.
Yes.
Because I had so many regrets. I said to my husband, why didn't I ask my husband to say something when my daughter graduated or when they got married? Something would be read that their father would have wanted to say.
Yes.
So then I thought, why not put all my thoughts, especially for my girls, if anyone else is going to read, but firstly for my children.
Yes, and I must say I've interviewed them and they're really quite inspired by what you did.
Thank you.
So well done. And I hope for all mothers out there, because one day you're going to expire. You're going to leave this stage of life. True. So it's important to leave a heritage for your children and for those who come after you, your grandchildren and the rest of them. And that's what the Bible says. True. A wise man leaves a heritage to his grandchildren. So recently I saw you online launching this book. Tell us about the experience. How did it feel like? And what was the reception like from the audience of the book?
The launch was awesome. I'd never experienced a launch before.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect. So I thought, I didn't have an idea. The girls, put that whole thing together and they made me look smart.
Wow.
And that whole program was put together by a team of people who really are for me. Who are Team Maureen, Team Mama.
They carried you on their shoulders.
They did. All I did was just stand on that stage.
Wow.
But they made all the suggestions who was to come. But the biggest surprise were the world pastors who were housed at Holiday Inn. I
saw that and I thought, wow, my guru has gone big.
This God, He's amazing.
Yes, it
was just its favor.
Yeah.
And when they came in, they were just coming in to do a prayer. But they ended up dedicating the book. They did a lot of things.
Wow.
And there were so many pastors who came.
Yes.
Pastor Warare was there. Pastor Makiwa was there. Pastor Boni was there.
Wow.
A lot of friends that I didn't think would come. Some even from my childhood, they were there.
Wow.
Some pastors who were not even Adventists were also there. Yeah, it was amazing. It was packed. We had booked a room for about 150 people, but we had more than that.
Wow.
Yes, we actually had
You had an overflow.
We had an overflow.
Jeez.
Yes. So the launch was amazing.
So this book was long overdue.
I think so. I'd been talking about it, but I didn't know whether I could call it a book. I kept telling people I have written a book, but I was scared to put it out there.
Yes.
But finally,
yes.
yeah, I just
And
had
I
to
think we,
brave it out.
we must give credit to the editor and the.
Sure.
I mean, your daughter said she also helped you to put it together.
Wow.
You were
Those
burning
girls,
candles into the night.
Yeah, all my daughters actually.
Yes,
They
and
would
obviously.
read, yeah.
Yes, and I see you had a good editorial team here that worked on it and really put out a good masterpiece.
True.
And I think this is quite wonderful.
True.
Now, I would like you to walk us through, because I've seen you focus on key issues that impact a marriage before and after. And I remember, I'm happy that Pastor Warari was my marriage officer. And
Is that so?
Yes.
Oh, he's my mentor.
Wise old man. Yes.
Okay.
I remember 3 things he told us on one of our counseling sessions. 3 things that break marriages: communication, in-laws, and money. And I see you covered some of them here.
Okay.
Now, I want us to just focus on these key issues. Obviously, now I understand these are quite big issues.
Okay.
Let's start about communication. What did you have in mind and your experience on communication before and during marriage?
Communication, communication is possible in a healthy environment. And I believe communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. Couples that do not talk, are so, they can never enjoy marriage. But couples that talk about things, whether good or bad, couples that have a healthy way of putting things across. So if people's communication just ends on small talk, hi, how was your day? It doesn't build a marriage. That you can do with anyone.
Yes.
There is communication that should happen in a marriage. Deep, reflective, involving, not selfish type of communication where we only talk when it's about you. Communication should be about what's going on. We are doing us, not we are doing one person in marriage.
Yeah.
And how do we discover that? Is by just developing a habit where we are talking about things. And I think couples that are dysfunctional do not talk about things. Even if there's an elephant in the room, they'll not talk about it.
Yeah.
They'll pretend it's not there.
They go on a cold war.
Yes, they circle around issues, but it's not dealing with issues.
Yes. And you talk about something that doesn't talk. Thanks for that highlight on communication. Money. People will be surprised out there. Money being a reason to learn about how to manage it before, during, and after. But you put it out as one of the very key determinants here. And I like the caption you put there to say, it's okay to love one another, but love doesn't pay bills.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. We definitely, we can't live on love. We need money to go by. Yes. Yeah. But what I've also realized in relationships is that the availability or the non-availability of money has caused untold suffering in relationships. So we need to know the science of money in a relationship. We don't have to be accountants. Yeah. But what are we going to live on? If we ignore that factor, soon we'll run out.
Yes.
We'll need bread, we'll need to pay bills, and that's where the problems start. Yes. Even those who have money, if it's your money and my money, our monies will fight. And you start competing against each other. Yeah. Where you're supposed to work together. Your money is supposed to make your marriage happy. Well, people have different policies concerning money, but I've realized it's couples who work together with their money that are happier. Couples who allocate each other duties. At the end of it, you find that they are not happy because one is deemed to be doing more, the other is doing less. Because money changes. At times, when we started, you had little and I had more. Yeah. But then your responsibilities remain the same. So, but if you're working together, whether money increases or decreases, your love, you remain together. Absolutely. Yes. And then money doesn't talk, so we have to give it a language. Exactly. In our relationship. Yes. We've got to tell it where to go. Yeah. Not that money must tell us where to go. Thank you. And once we master that and we agree on how to spend it or to use it, then we will know peace. Definitely. And it's unfortunate in Africa that is when people get more money, there are challenges. They have challenges. Because we've never been taught how to manage more money. More money, and we want to bring in more people, especially of the opposite sex. Exactly. To enjoy that money. Which then destroys our marriages. It does. And so I think young people need to understand, and even those who are in marriages, how to
master money. But I also like this aspect you put in here. Chapter 7, you talk about relationships. You quote and say, marrying an African is like marrying the whole clan and everyone has expectations of you.
Yes.
You make an issue about being African.
Yeah, we are Africans, and we do things as Africans. We have a way of doing things. When you marry an African, you have married the whole clan.
You marry into that clan.
Into that clan, but everyone thinks they are a shareholder. They have something to say
about your marriage.
Yes. So they raised you. You will be told that uncle paid your fees.
Wow.
That aunt was the one who carried you when you were sick.
Yeah.
So when you get married, they think they are supposed to say something, but it's just how we are. I am because we are. Ubuntu,
Yes.
that's what we do in Africa.
Yes.
We don't just live for yourself. You bring in everyone because the celebrations are for everyone. Yes,
Absolutely.
you are in love, but the marriage is for us all.
You know, I talked to your daughter, Ayanda, and she highlighted one of the chapters that really impacted on them is conflict. And I was quite humbled actually by what she shared. And I see you talk quite extensively about how to build a marriage and how to deal with issues when you have a conflict in the home. And she explained it so beautifully. So I think the lessons have filtered in to her. But tell us about homemaking. You say, do not be a woman who has beautiful clothes, a highly spiritualized lifestyle, but cannot come down to address issues where her feet are. Too educated to make a simple home. I think this will hit hard on those who feel they're educated and therefore their education must come to bear in the home. But it's different. Homemaking is not about your qualifications.
No.
So what is it about?
I'm just saying to the woman out there, be balanced. Be balanced. Do not be one-dimensional where we meet you in the street and we think this is you, and yet there's some area where you don't need to go to school, but that you can just copy and or maybe even invite those who are skilled to help you put a home together.
Yes.
You might not be a home like a designer or something, but you can bring in people if you have that money to do it. But we find there are some women whose homes do say a very sorry story. The curtains are dropping. I always give that example. The curtains, there is nothing feminine.
Clothes are not tucked in properly.
Yes, thank you. They can't even
prepare a
simple meal, an egg. I'm not talking about lasagna and those kind of meals. I'm talking about simple meals.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying in homemaking, your home is your signature.
Absolutely.
We can tell the kind of person that you are by simply walking into your home. You don't have to tell us anything. We just conclude.
Yes.
What type of a woman is this?
Yes.
So you have left people to make conclusions, some which are not correct. But because you have left that area unattended. Yes.
So tell us about you put in this aspect, and I found it quite impressive. And you say this aspect, personal hygiene, if not handled well, will impact on intimacy. I mean, young people out there, how often do you bath? Do you groom yourself? Do you look nicely groomed? So tell us about the importance of personal hygiene as a key determinant for building a successful marriage.
Marriage is a close-up affair.
All right.
It's a close-up affair. If you have a smelly mouth from that distance, I won't be able to tell. But marriage brings you closer
for better inspection.
Yes. And when that happens, the habits, they impact the marriage. And at times we blame certain things, other women, other men. And yet it's just an issue of hygiene.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't like things that smell nice? We all do.
Yes.
So if the smells, the habits are not in order, they are bound to bring problems into the relationship.
Finally, you wrap up this book with the topic that I think we will not even do justice in this episode to talk about. Intimacy. And I like the fact that you touch intimacy not only at a humanistic level, but in that triangle where God is involved. Where if two people are relating and God is in the formula, as they come closer to God, they actually come closer to each other. And that intimacy is not just about the bedroom.
No.
But it's everything else that happens outside it. So your thoughts and your closing remarks perhaps to our viewers out there in terms of what, because for me, that is the cherry on top. I always tell my wife I had sisters. I could be friends with them. But I needed a wife to be intimate with, to share my personal heart with, which I couldn't do with my, and I always tell people, I had pap at my house. I had sadza, we could eat, but I didn't come for sadza, I came for an intimate relationship.
Yes.
So tell us about your thoughts on that, and perhaps your closing remarks to the viewers out there.
Okay. The topic on intimacy, I struggled because I didn't, it's not a topic I was actually asking. I'll have sons-in-law.
You are being an African now.
Yes, I'm being an African. And then I said, no, this book would not be balanced if I leave out that topic.
Yes.
But intimacy does not just begin in the bedroom. Or it's everything, the way you treat each other during the day that culminates to what? To a healthy, intimate relationship. Because if we think intimacy is in just the act, we're missing it, the whole point. The touching of hands, the looks, the smiles, the stolen whatever. All those kind words, you know, the whatever, the considerations that when you see something, you're thinking about me, you brought this because even a banana, you're thinking about me.
Yeah.
You're thinking about me, seriously?
Yes.
Yes, so you mean it's those small things that we traveling together. Intimacy is also what building up. And I always say for women we need to realize that men do not want sex, they need it. They need it. Women do not want love, they need it.
They
That's why
on
God says, men, love your wives. And wives, respect your husbands.
Yes.
So he knows that's a winning formula, and for intimacy, that's how we should look at it.
Yes.
Give each one what they need.
Yes.
In as much as you are giving them what they want.
Yes.
But give them their need, deal with their need.
Absolutely.
And what does it mean for your wife to say, I'm being loved? I'm being loved. Don't interpret it for her.
Yes.
Sit down with her, find out from her. If holding hands means that she's being loved, do it more often. And she will return that. Absolutely. You know, it's an egg and chick thing where you do your part first, not
the
wait for that.
Yes.
So I think marriage is a beautiful thing that God designed. And if you look at all of God's creation, He has never created something that fails. All His creation is supposed to succeed. But the reason why humans are failing in the area of marriage is because we've detached ourselves from the one who make us succeed.
Absolutely.
And I want to think that if people realize that they are in relationships with people who are temporary. I lost my husband.
Wow.
There are things that I wish I had done.
Wow.
There are things that I tell myself 20 times, if I were to be given even 20 minutes, I would do it differently. So I wish people knew that the people that they are in relationships with carry an expiry date.
Wow.
So there are things that you need to do best before. Love as if there is no tomorrow.
Wow.
Enrich your marriage. Invest in your marriage. Take time to know more about your spouse. We study so many other people. We know the minds of many people, but we don't know the mind of the person that we live with.
Wow.
So I think with marriage, we can succeed, and our societies will become better places.
Absolutely.
Societies are disintegrating, people are dysfunctional, they cannot perform even at work. The countries are going down because the marriage fibers are eroded. But if we fix that, then we've fixed the society, we've fixed a lot of things. You go to work, you spend 2 hours trying to counsel someone whose marriage is bad. Yes, so many stories that we hear of people who commit suicide even on the road, wherever, because they are failing to function in a marriage.
Yes.
So I think people need to know best that marriage can be enjoyed, not endured.
Yes, marriage should be heaven on earth, not hell on earth.
No.
You heard that, our viewers. If she had 20 minutes more with her late husband, there are things she would do differently, and she would love like there's no tomorrow. And therefore, I encourage you to get in touch with Maureen. We've given your contacts in the description. Please do get time to read this book. It might just change your destiny. So God bless you. Thank you for watching MelVee Productions. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.